Ladies and gentlemen, welcome wrestling fans worldwide to Knoxville and the Great Smoky Mountains for the Ron Fuller Tennessee Studcast.
6 feet 9 inches tall, 265 pounds.
This historic podcast from one of the most respected and successful wrestlers and promoters will follow the footsteps of the largest and oldest wrestling family on the planet.
Listen to what I'm saying. That's right. Bring that camera in here a little bit closer.
Through 93 years and 4 generations.
The stud has arrived.
Old school or new fan, this unique broadcast will educate and captivate as Ron details decades of professional wrestling's growth with truly unforgettable stories.
I want those people out there at home to hear the stud.
Sit back and enjoy the ride with the Tennessee Stud.
The Tennessee Stud. You will learn that name. You will remember it.
And now,
the stud is here.
Hey everybody, welcome in. It's David Summers, and here comes another Studcast with the Tennessee Stud, Ron Fuller. This is the story of wrestling in America as told by the Stud, whose family started the profession over 100 years ago. So now, let's step back into the ring, back into time. Let's get wall-to-wall, tree-top tall with the Tennessee Stud, Ron Fuller. All right, Ron Stud, I got to say it. You've done it again. I think this may become one of your best ideas ever. I predict this new When Wrestling Was Wrestling weekend show, presented for the first time last weekend on your YouTube Southeastern Rewind channel. I predict it's going to be a rebirth of old school wrestling, and that says a lot. Old school was always cool, but this is going to really captivate the fans.
I certainly hope the fans are going to enjoy it, Dave. We have hundreds of Southeastern, Continental, and USA TV shows right now on the Tennessee Stud Streaming.com channel. And this is a fantastic way for me to give fans something special for free. And we're using all the wrestling videos already on the streaming channels, new Studcast. And those new Studcasts give me the additional opportunity to explain in depth how and why I pick particular matches, some of which I chose to record from the buildings, and the rest of them I put on my live TV shows.
Oh, cool. All right. So I watched my first When Wrestling Was Wrestling weekend show this past weekend. I had several videos on Bob and Brad Armstrong. It had several videos on Bob and Brad Armstrong. Many considered them the best father-son team in wrestling in the early 1980s. The show I thought was really great. It told a very compelling story with videos and was in less than 25 minutes, and it was absolutely free. So it was all about what was turning into a dangerous feud between Bob and Brad and Masa Sato and the future Midnight Express, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose.
Well, it's only about half as long as the new Studcast, where we can take the really deep dive and show even more videos. But I don't know how, Dave, I was able to do so much, man, before these videos surfaced over the past year. It's been really, really amazing to be able to do what we do now. So before we get started in today's Studcast, which is going to be another great one, I think, I want to let everybody know we're going to be the star of the next, who is going to be the star of When Wrestling Was Wrestling, the weekend show, the next one. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be watching the future Hall of Famer, Paul Orndorff, in some of his early matches on YouTube Southeastern Rewind.
Man, he was an exceptional athlete. He had the look. He had the style. That's really something special for fans. I had no idea Paul Orndorff, when he came to Southeastern, was going to become one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. But I also didn't have any idea that David Schultz, Wayne Ferris, the future Honky Tonk Man, or Arn Anderson, to name a few, would all go on to become Hall of Fame wrestlers as well. You had a knack back in the day for creating big-time stars, Stud.
Well, I take no credit for it, man. They were all destined to do what they did, man. I look forward to the weekend videos this weekend's videos of Paul Orndorff on the When Wrestling Was Wrestling weekend show. He was a great friend of mine, as well as a phenomenal wrestler, and I have missed him, man, since his passing in 2021.
I know this is going to be really special, Ron. Fans, listen, don't miss this one. It's going to be on YouTube, Southeastern Rewind, Saturday, March 1st, this Saturday. So where are we riding in the next Studcast, number 388, this one, Ron? Ron, where are we headed?
Well, we're going to start with a quick rundown of what happened in the last Studcast. Specifically, we're going to talk about the most important matches on that last card. And then I'm going to announce this Studcast card for the week, first week, actually, in February of 1981. This Studcast show has a record, I might say, Dave, 9 videos in it. And for the first time, a Studcast, this one is going to contain over 20 minutes of video alone. I think pretty close to 26 minutes to be exact. Including an arm wrestling match between Paul Orndorff and Dennis Condrey. Then I'll give the results of the matches and the attendances in the 4 major markets, and hopefully after that, I get to answer another learning tree question.
So it sounds like another great one to me. I've been waiting all week long to find out what happened in that double bull rope match last Studcast with the Tennessee Stud and your partner, Jimmy Golden, versus Ron and Don Bass.
Well, we'll get there, Dave. But first, I want to focus, man, on the outcome of the most important matches from the last Studcast. Paul Orndorff, Norvell Austin, they had just formed a tag team. They won their first tag team match against Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose. But the belts weren't on the line in it, so they couldn't become the champions. But they did get a victory in their very first match against those 2 guys. Brad Armstrong, the new United States Junior Heavyweight Champion, was defending his newly won belt against Jerry Stubbs. And on the same night that Brad won the United States Junior Championship Tournament in Mobile, Alabama, Jerry Stubbs beat the World Junior Heavyweight Champion Les Thornton. So Stubbs had insisted on getting a shot at his former belt, and I think he got the okay from our good friend over there in Jacksonville, Florida, and he got to wrestle Brad for his belt, and he didn't have to wrestle Brad for his world belt, so he got to wrestle to try to get both belts. So that match ended in a 30-minute time limit draw. Then you had Masa Saito, man, got himself disqualified on purpose against Bob Armstrong, who was the former Alabama champion. This was a championship match. And I'm sorry, Dave, the results of that match that you wanted to know about, the double bull rope between the Tennessee Stud with his partner Jimmy Golden against the Bath brothers, that's going to remain an unknown, man, until Jimmy gets to explain it in his own words in the personality profile of this Studcast.
Okay, so at least it's coming. You love this, don't you, Stud? All right, leaving me hanging. I think you're really good at it. So knowing that I've asked you several times about that match, all right, so now at least tell us who and what was on the card for the first week in March 1981. Take us back.
Well, the first match was the returning Charlie Cook, and he was taking on Oki Shikina. Robert Gibson was getting his wish, man, to have that match with Ron Bass, who had injured his brother, Ricky Gibson, months earlier. There was a return match between Jerry Stubbs and the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion Brad Armstrong, again for Brad's belt, but this time it was going to be a no time limit clause in the contract because the last one was a 30-minute time limit draw. So there's not going to be a stoppage of this one because of a time limit. Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin, after their win, were getting their first Southeastern Tag Team Championship match against Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose. Bob Armstrong was also getting another shot at the Alabama Championship of Saito. This time, it was going to be a no disqualification match because Saito got disqualified on the last one. So then there was going to be another match on this card, a special challenge match, with somebody very highly regarded by the Southeastern fans going up against Jimmy Golden. But you're not going to find that one out, I'm sorry, Dave, until Jimmy gets to that personality profile.
All right, at least I know now something happened to the Tennessee Stud because he wasn't on the card. It was, by the way, another fantastic card, even though we don't know who was going to wrestle Jimmy Golden. So 3 championship matches, a grudge match between Bass and Gibson, and someone special challenging Jimmy Golden. All right, but tell us about the Southeastern TV show. We're talking March 1st, 1981. How did that show open up?
Well, it was not an ordinary opening that fans were accustomed to. It was longer than normal for one reason, but it was worth fans being told about lots that was going on, including that this was going to be the first Saturday in February, which is championship month on television. And the Southeastern Tag Champions, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose, were going to be defending their belts on TV that day. So this show had a little bit of an extended welcome from Charlie and Les because of what had happened in Mobile 4 days earlier. And they were a little explanation there about some of what went on in that double bull rope match between the Stud and Jimmy Golden against Ron and Don Bass. Mm-hmm. And then something different followed even after that introduction. So we're going to begin this show, man, with a video of that introduction.
All right. I knew I was right about that double bull rope match. Something big did happen, didn't it?
Well, yes, but it wasn't the only thing that happened during the introduction of this TV show. We're going to open this TV show with basically 3 different videos, and we've spliced these together so that they all run as if they're one, basically. But I think it's a really nice little deal that we're able to do with this first one, and I'm just so impressed with these old shows, man, and how good they are, and I think fans. I said something. We talked something about the old school being cool. You said that, I think, and these old school matches are just really, really amazing, man. Bring back a lot of memories for me, and I'm sure it's going to be that way for a lot of fans. And those new fans, I think they're going to be impressed with these as well.
Oh, no doubt about it. I have no idea what's coming next, but I can't wait to see it. Hard to believe that we're just getting started with this TV show. All right, so our producer, Brian, is going to play the first video of the show. Let's roll it, Brian.
Unexpected happening that has shocked the world of pro wrestling between Jimmy Golden and his cousin Ron Fuller, the Tennessee Stud. It has the entire wrestling world in an uproar, and at Les, it was something that totally unexpected, and Jimmy Golden has fooled many people.
In its wake, Charlie had left the Tennessee Stud on the injured list and has added Don Bass to the broken leg list, which has already got Johnny Valiant on it. And, of course, we've got tapes of that issue. You'll be seeing it later on in the program. But many of Ron Fuller's friends are calling the offices of Don Curtis wanting to challenge Jimmy Golden because of this sort of a revenge thing, because of this incident. Of course, you'll understand it more as the program unfolds as we go along, but it certainly, as you mentioned, Charlie, has the whole wrestling world buzzing.
Speaking of Rose and Condrey...
We don't mean to interrupt you, but we got something to say.
Just a minute here. I understand we have the Florida State arm wrestling champion amongst us today. I'm speaking of you, Paul Orndorff.
We want to issue a challenge.
I'm issuing a challenge to you right now. I'm the Southeastern arm wrestling champion. And I'm issuing you an arm wrestling champion right here. I want it right here on TV where everybody can see it. I can put you down, baby. Look at that 20-incher right there. I'll put you down in a minute. If you got any guts at all,
I don't think he's got the guts, cuz. My cuz here is Beatles from Hollywood to Broadway and back. Look at this. You ain't got the guts.
Come on,
Dorf. You ain't no champion until you come against my cuz right here. We're issuing you a challenge on TV today. Now take that.
Paul Orndorff, at one time the Florida State arm wrestling champion. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm sure this will be a surprise to Mr. Orndorff, and I think we can talk it over with Paul, and I've never known Paul to back up.
No, I didn't know that Condrey was the Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion. Of course, there's a lot of things we don't know, Charlie. But, of course, we've got a match upcoming, and our first contest will be.
And Robert Gibson. Levert and Gibson, their opponents with a combined weight of 465 pounds, the Southeastern Tag Champions, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose.
Condrey and Rose, the Southeastern Tag Champions, Frank Levert and Robert Gibson. Levert, new to our television ring. Young man carries a lot of size around. It'll be Robert Gibson starting for his combination. And let's see, for Rose and Condrey, it'll be Charlotte, North Carolina's Dennis Condrey. Out to do battle with Robert Gibson.
Bell sounds, we're ready for action. Condrey sizing things up all the way around the ring. Collar and elbow into that wrist lock. Arm twist and a reversal by Condrey, a reversal by Gibson, and a takedown for Robert Gibson on Dennis Condrey.
Robert applying the pressure to the arm bar. Now windmills it one more time, and Condrey finds the ropes. Condrey checking Frank Levert out as he locks up once again with Gibson. Robert traps that arm, but Condrey back on the hook on the far side now, blocking. Moves under and takes him down. Nice leverage. And the tag is made. Gibson saw it and moves away. Good strategy on his part, staying out of harm's way, out of the champion's corner. Headlock now on Randy Rose. Rose is got with a tackle. Gibson on the move and is tripped, and down he goes and right back. Nice low single leg takedown, but Rose kicks him away, and they're up both ready to roll. Frank Levert catches his first tag in this match, and of course his work cut out for him. Nice drop toe hold by Rose. Rose on the ride. Levert trying to make the move. But of course, speed-wise, Rose being able to contain him. Levert not in a position to use his size as heft against Rose yet. As Rose turns him out, gets a 1 count in, up to their feet. Rose and Condrey will be king on Levert, no doubt about it, being the least experienced of the combination of Gibson and Levert. A nice waist lock and the takedown, but into the ropes and breaks. Condrey out to shake hands with Levert. Levert slaps away at the hand, but not too enthusiastically. Moves in. Condrey on the go behind. Waist lock, takedown. Levert turning out again. Condrey with a block. Levert now with a hook. Condrey switches under, comes up with a nice hammerlock, and Rose and Condrey with some good wrestling moves, which again proves that they are versatile athletes. They prefer to take the shortcuts through the back alley style, but they can use the sophisticated hooks and maneuvers. Both a good wrestler. Tag, and Rose opens up in that back alley style we're talking about. Stomping away at Frank Levert. Hooks him again, drives him down. Rose applying the pressure now. And Rose and Condrey have contained Frank Levert since he's entered that ring, and the man has not been able to stay up and use the height and the power, which certainly is a strong point, Charlie.
Levert needs to make a tag with Gibson. The tag is made with Condrey. Very effectively in and out. The Southeastern Tag Champions, Randy Rose and Condrey, take down by the hair.
You know, while we're watching Condrey and Rose with some good switches on Frank Levert, I was a little surprised that Condrey moved out of here and yelled about this arm wrestling challenge to Paul Orndorff, and talking about he is the Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion, which there is no such animal. There's no title for that particular.
I was about to ask. I'd never heard of it.
If there is, Don Kern has just initiated within the last 24 hours. I'm not aware of it either.
Condrey catches his man with that clothesline coming off from the second rope. Rose crashes down. That's it. 3 count. It's over. Frank Levert defeated by the team of Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey, the Southeastern Tag Champions. Very effective team here in the...
Okay, that was only about 7 minutes or so, but a great start on this TV. that had to be more than one piece of video. That's a great job with Brian, who put those together. These new Studcasts are unbelievable and getting better each week. Okay, so who was next, Stud?
Well, Jimmy Golden, man, the wrestler that was first mentioned in the introduction of this show. Quite a bit of talk about Jimmy and what had happened in the week before. And I have to apologize for this upcoming video. They're not all, they aren't all the best quality. And again, I want to remind fans that this next video was almost a half a century old. But it's worth every second, man, just for the history it contains. So at this point, fans in the TV station in Dothan, Alabama, had no idea what happened in Mobile 4 days earlier. And if they had, Golden's introduction in the match that we're about to show would have been a lot louder introduction. I can guarantee you that. So before this show was over, though, he needed a police escort to get to his car.
Wow. I can tell already this is going to be a tremendous TV show. All right, so Brian is going to play this Jimmy Golden match, and here we go.
Your attention, please. Our next match, one fall TV time remaining. Introducing in the corner to my left, at 225 pounds from Montgomery, Alabama, Jimmy Jones. Jimmy Jones. At 232 pounds from Montgomery, Alabama, Jimmy Golden. Jimmy Golden. Golden taking on Jimmy Jones, and of course, main man of controversy in the ring right now.
Certainly, and he's built all that controversy around himself. After this match, we'll be inviting Jimmy Golden to the dance floor. Take a look once again at the controversial break. Jones going after Golden. Golden takes a hike and will take a breather with a 10 count on the outside of the ring. Certainly one thing's for sure, Jimmy will win this match, Charles.
Jimmy will win the match. Lock up again. It's Golden. With the ride, takedown.
I'd be anxious to ask Jimmy Golden some questions about the incident involving his cousin, Ron Ford, the Tennessee stud, in the match with the Bass brothers, Ron and John. As we mentioned earlier, Don Bass has joined John Valiant on the broken leg list, and Ron Ford, a Tennessee stud, out of action indefinitely.
Golden takes his man head first into that turnbuckle. Boot to the midsection. Golden opening up on Jones.
You know, I do believe that Jimmy Golden is more comfortable wrestling the style we're seeing today than he was in the several weeks that he altered his style to get alongside his cousin, Ron Fuller, the Tennessee stud. I'm anxious to ask Jimmy some questions about this thing. Too.
Some questions have been asked Jimmy already, Les, but as of such, I have heard none that made any sense whatsoever.
The answers are not exactly what we call concise and to the point.
Exactly right. Right now, he's opening up on Jimmy Jones.
Golden shooting his man in, catches him with a kick. Goes to work on Jones. We're back with a headlock now.
Controversy about the legality of some of Golden's rules that he follows in that ring. Certainly they are questionable.
Jones catching him and doubling up with that elbow, moving in now on Golden. Another shot to the midsection. Jones catapults him cross corner. Moves in again, and Jimmy Jones having things his way here as Golden pulls himself back into those ropes and falls to the break. Jones lays a token knee in there. Doubles him up with a shot to the midsection as he comes off the ropes.
Takes him in. Golden catching Jones with the boot to the face. Hooks that neck breaker. Pulls his man up. Does not even go for the pin. And again, neck breaker by Jimmy Golden. And he has the match over Jimmy Jones.
Jimmy Golden with a win in a decisive decision over Jimmy Jones.
All right, Stud, I see exactly what you were talking about. The TV crowd was very quiet. I noticed at the end that Golden did not one, but 2 neck breakers on his opponent with a completely different attitude than usual. It was personality profile time, and you said Jimmy Golden was going to be on that profile. So when was the TV studio crowd, when were we and me, when were we going to find out what happened in Mobile on that double bull rope match?
Hey, Dave, well, we're going to find out right now.
Yes.
So after this match, it didn't go to the profile set as usual, but Jimmy Golden went straight to the regular set with Charlie and Les, where they were expected to take a break and go. Jimmy messed up everything because he was he was primed. He was in a moment of glory. And so he went to the regular set with Les and Charlie, and he pulled out a blood-covered Tennessee stud mask when he got there.
All right, I can't wait to hear what this was all about. All right, so now our producer, Brian, once again, is going to play the extremely important double bull rope match from Mobile, Alabama. Here it comes as you take us back in time to the last week of January 1981. Here we go.
Ron Fuller takes him as a partner, and in a double bull rope match, we see that you again, Jimmy Golden, has turned completely against the Fuller family.
What?
Turned completely.
You know what you're talking about, Charlie.
Let's roll the film if we can.
Let me tell you something. They're going to give me a medal, baby. An honor medal. Because I have come up with the greatest plan, and it all fit together like a real small puzzle.
Well, what we're seeing here is you and Ron Bass coming back into the ring. The inside stepper, we're told, Ron Fuller has on Donnie Bass. At this point, the leg of Don Bass was broken. But you and Ron Bass lash each arm, each wrist of Ron Fuller, the Tennessee stud, string him up between corners, Jimmy, and just literally start to pound on him.
He had it coming. That jerk has had it coming for all of his born days. He has broke leg after leg, and right there he was going to break Donnie Bass's leg, and there was enough of it. He ain't going to break no more legs because he ain't here no more. And I'm going to tell you something, Tennessee stud. You're going to be bye-bye. He's gone for good because I seen him haul him off like the Tennessee trash that he is. And right here you see he's going to get the licking of his life. You people thought that he was indestructible. Baby, I fixed him. I destroyed him. He is out. There will be no more Tennessee stud. I'm going to be your stud.
Let me ask you a question, Jim. Were you involved with Johnny Valiant? Because Valiant came into this area as the stud's partner and later turned on him. They had their altercations. Valiant's leg is broken. Were you involved in that in any way?
All I can say for Johnny Valiant, he couldn't get the job done, baby. He couldn't get the job done, but Jimmy Golden could. And right here you see Jimmy Golden doing it, baby. I'm taking the mask off of that Tennessee stud. He is no longer the Tennessee stud. I'm the stud.
You're saying that Ron Fuller had this coming, that he deserved it. But, Jimmy, did you ever see him lash anyone to a ring, make them defenseless, and then beat them?
That's I have seen them Fuller boys do horrible things that you cannot even imagine. You cannot even imagine. Them boys have had a silver spoon stuck in their mouth ever since the day they was born. And when the going got tough, the Fullers scooted out. They found them on the back door exit, brother. When it gets too tough for them, they get a way out, baby. But right here, there's no way out. I wish you people could have been there to... Indestructible Tennessee stud is gone. They hauled him out, the Tennessee trash. And he is gone bye-bye. There will be no more Tennessee stud. The only stud you're going to see is super stud.
Charlie, I
You have no reasoning, sensible reasoning for all this taking place.
Right here is your Tennessee stud. I told you one time, and I'll tell you again, he's a no-good jerk that likes to break people's bones, but he's not here no more. There's your Tennessee stud, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks to all you wonderful fans, you've made it possible for me. You made it possible. Where you going, Charlie Plant? You little brown-nosing jerk. You're a knob polisher, boy. Anytime I want the Fullers to know something, I'll just tell you, you're going to leave 2 less. We don't need you. You can go ahead and leave 2. Let me tell you something, ladies and
we
gentlemen.
will get out of this
The
segment
stud
of the
is gone.
program
Don't cut me off there. Hold it. I'll buy some more time.
Okay, Stud, I got to tell you, that was one of the dirtiest things I ever saw in wrestling. So what a rough match. I mean, you had broken Don Bass's leg, and they used the bull ropes to tie you up. Golden beat you unmercifully and stole your mask after you were bloody. So was there any more video about that?
Well, yes, earlier in the day before the studio crowd came in, but both Charlie and Les talked separately to Jimmy Golden at the set. Wanted to interview him prior to the fans getting in the studio. And so I think fans are going to find this to be a good one as well.
All right, I think this should be good. All right, so Brian is going to play the interview with Charlie Platt and Jimmy Golden. Here it comes.
That's Jimmy Golden. Jimmy, I certainly have a lot of questions that I would like to ask you pertaining to an incident that took place this last Tuesday night at Expo Hall in Mobile concerning you turning on your cousin Ron Fuller in the ring.
Turning on him nothing, brother. Let me tell you something. I took care of business, baby. Like I've been telling you I was going to do for a long time. And that's exactly what I've done. I've done a good job, didn't I?
You came back into this area. Ron has taken you as a tag team partner. On numerous occasions, you went down to the ring and helped Ron when he was in trouble. I just really don't understand why you do all of this and then turn on him in the ring.
You know something, Charlie, old buddy? You fit in real well down here in southern Alabama with these peanut farmers. I bet you make a fine peanut farmer yourself. All you people are just great. Everything fit together like a little puzzle, man. It couldn't have been better. All you people come up to the Tennessee stud, old Ron Fuller, and said, Jimmy Golden is all right, man. He's had a change of heart. Take him as your partner. Y'all did great, man. I knew you loved me all the time because I'm the greatest that there has ever been, and I'm here to stay. I've taken care of the stud, and I'm going to take care of the whole Fuller family.
Taking into consideration what has happened this past Tuesday night, I have another question that I, if I could, would ask that. Did you in any way, John Valiant recently turned on Ron Fuller. Did you have anything to do with paying John Valiant to do that?
Well, let's just say this, man. You know, whatever's whatever, you know. I don't know nothing about John Valiant. He left there. He's gone. He couldn't really take care of business like he should anyway, so I took care of business, so I did it my way. You know, if you want to do something right, you got to do it yourself. So I did it myself.
After a very unfortunate turn of events, he's back in the southeastern area, Jimmy Golden.
Okay, I can't believe Golden's arrogance. He had no regrets about what he did, even after you and Robert had welcomed him back into the family after his back injury. So it looked like they were trying to put you out of wrestling for good.
Well, I guess part of that, Dave, is the fact I broke Don Bass's leg after Jimmy Valiant's leg the week before. I mean, I was turning into quite a leg breaker and not intentionally doing it, and it didn't make either Golden or Ron Bass have any mercy on me. I can tell you that. They were certainly upset, especially Ron, about his brother's leg. But I think if people paid attention to the video there, they saw him roll Don Bass out of the way pretty quickly to jump on me. It was kind of crazy. He wasn't that concerned about his broken leg.
All right. So I think you said Les Thatcher also talked to Jimmy in an interview before the studio crowd was allowed in the building. All right. So what was that interview about? I'm going to play this last interview that Les did. I got to find out how this ends. So Brian, our producer, once again, is going to play another video, the Les Thatcher interview of Jimmy Golden. And here it is.
And in this special main event on Monday night in Boutwell Auditorium, Jimmy Golden goes against Mr. USA Tony Atlas. We remind you to watch us here on Channel 42 next Saturday at 2 p.m. for Southeastern Wrestling. Before I talk to Jimmy Golden about this special match coming up Monday night, let's hear from Mr. USA Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas, Monday night, Birmingham, Alabama. You've got Jimmy Golden, and you're there. Well, your mission is revenge for a friend.
That's right. You know, Ron Fuller and Robert Fuller, they're very good friends of mine. When I first started in this business, you know, a lot of people try to take advantage of me because they're always trying to take advantage of a young guy just started in the business. And when I came here to Georgia, one of the first people I made a town with was Robert Fuller and Ron Fuller. They took very good care of me. when I first came into Georgia. It taught me a lot of tricks and a lot of things in the ring, and that's the main reason why I'm coming there to take care of you, Jimmy Golden, because my main man, Robert Fuller, is unable to be there because he under a commitment he got himself under a long time ago by the lose or leave town commitment, which means he can't come there to whoop your butt. But I ain't under no commitment. You don't put my main man, Ron Fuller, out of business. You let me see if you could put Tony Atlas out of business. And then when I get through with your brother, if there's anything left, my main man, Robert, going to be there later on and get
Jimmy Tony Atlas, a big, powerful man, and he's out to revenge a friend.
Big and powerful. Let me tell you something, Brother Tony Atlas. You know, people's coming in, wrestlers coming in from everywhere, man, challenging Jimmy Golden, Dusty Rhodes, Tony Atlas, Robert Fuller. Everybody, all of them has come to see the big man, the superstar. Let me show you something here about my ex-friend, the Tennessee Stud. He is no longer with us. He is gone bye-bye. I seen him haul him off like the Tennessee trash that he is. He is gone. He is it. That's it. No more Tennessee Stud. Here's your Tennessee Stud, what's left of him. I'm the stud, the super stud. And let me tell you something, Tony Atlas, and you people out there. You ain't seen nothing yet, baby. I'm going to take this muscle head. Where you from anyway, boy? I'm going to take you, muscles, and I'm going to show you what wrestling is all about, brother, because you're against the best that there is, man. Like I said, they coming from everywhere now.
All right, Stud, I tell you what, this was turning into something really big. I was a big fan of Tony Atlas. He was wrestling in Georgia at the time. I can't believe I missed these matches and had no idea he was a good friend of yours, and was going to be wrestling Jimmy Golden in all 4 of the major markets the next week?
Yeah, he certainly was. And obviously, because WTBS, that TV station, the big house of Ted Turner's in Atlanta, was seen almost everywhere. All across the country at this point, or getting there. And almost all their stars were known very well in our territory, surely. We were right next to Atlanta, and practically everybody in the state of Alabama was getting to see that WTBS stuff. And it also didn't hurt that my brother was the booker there at the time either.
You can say that again. All right, so who was in the 3rd match on this TV show?
Well, that was for the World Junior Heavyweight, the World Junior Heavyweight champion, Jerry Stubbs. And Bob and Brad, they joined Charlie and Les at the set for comments about Stubbs and both their championship matches that they had coming up on this card. Bob was going to be against Saito, and Brad was going to be against Stubbs again. And after Stubbs' win, they played a pre-cut interview with all 4 of them.
All right, Brian's going to roll that one for us.
Office. With me, the Alabama State Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Saito, who defends that title against the original holder, the man he defeated for it, Bob Armstrong, on Monday night in Boutwell. And on my other side, the challenger for the United States Junior Heavyweight Champion, a former champion. He'll be facing the youngest U.S. junior champion in the history of the belt, Brad Armstrong. And before I talk to this champion and this challenger, let's hear from the Armstrongs.
You know, Monday night in Boutwell Auditorium is a very big night for the Armstrong connection. My son Brad, the youngest man ever to win the U.S. Junior Heavyweight title, will be defending that title. And as for me, I got a chance to win a title that I won originally right there in Birmingham. Now, you've been slipping by. You've been knocking Americans. You've been knocking everything you can knock in Birmingham. But on Monday night, I can knock you, brother. Some way, shape, or form, I'm going to get that belt. Brad's going to defend this belt against Jerry Stubbs, the man who held it longer than anybody. But he's got the heart, he's got the will, and he'll do it. And in Birmingham, Saito, you say you're so much better at karate. If I have to, I'll do what I can. And remember, it just takes one shot to put you down, big boy.
We'll start with you, Jerry. You're going after a belt you held longer than anyone in the history of the...
That's right. I held the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship longer than anybody ever. You understand me? Ever. And let me tell you something, Armstrong. You're the youngest to ever hold that belt. And you're going to be the shortest reign, because when I get through with you in Birmingham, I'm going to be the new champion, just like I'm supposed to be.
Mr. Saito, your belt is on the line against a very tough Bob Armstrong.
You know, the other night, I talked to my father. He's so very happy because I'm a champion. American belt and Alabama State champion. He's so happy because my father, very good kamikaze pilot. He's a 2 times attacked the Pearl Harbor. Same to me now. I attacked the American wrestler. I attacked the Burma Armstrong. He's American karate.
Monday night,
American
Birmingham,
wrestler.
Boutwell Auditorium.
All right, Stud, so one simple question. How did that show end?
Well, we were going to end the show with another really good tag team match. And at the end of this tag team match, there's going to be a bit of surprise that nobody expected.
All right, let's see what that's all about. Brian is going to set that one up for us now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event, one fall TV time remaining, introducing with a combined weight of 467 pounds, Norvell Austin and Paul Orndorff. Their opponents, combined weight of 440 pounds, the Superstar and Jimmy Jones.
Jimmy Jones and the Superstar out against Austin and Orndorff. And this is our first look at the tag team combination of Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin on our television screen. And while we're talking about television matches, we're waiting for this one to start, Charlie. I did want to bring up that Don Curtis, because of the tremendous support of the fans and because of the great ratings in the Southeastern area, has proclaimed the month of February as Championship Month. And here on television, each week throughout the month of February, there will be a title match of some sort, a regional title of some type, each week on our television program.
Championship month for the month of February. A lot of things happening in the Southeastern wrestling area. The month of February, we'll be looking at a lot of great wrestling talent into the area, in addition to what we already have. Ken Lucas, for instance.
Right. Big Kenny coming back to the area. A tough competitor. And right now we're looking at another tough competitor in Paul Orndorff as he locks in with the key lock on that hammerlock to the masked Superstar. Orndorff has been challenged by Dennis Condrey, who proclaims himself Southeastern arm wrestling champion. He wants to go against Orndorff in an arm wrestling match. Orndorff told us earlier he would be happy anytime, any place. So the groundwork has been laid, and we're just going to have to line that one up. Nice takedown by the Junkyard Dog, Norvell Austin. And this is going to be a tough combination for Condrey and Rose to handle. Orndorff and Austin.
Over in that corner, tag is made with Jimmy Jones. Collar elbow, center of the ring. Takedown by the Junkyard Dog with the arm bar on Jones.
Joe's a rugged professional. We got our first look at him on our television ring. And, of course, his work cut out for him against Paul and Norvell. Nice takedown by Paul right in on top. And you look at this Orndorff up and down from head to toe. He's a well-developed athlete. He doesn't have a weak physical characteristic that I can tell. The power is well proportioned throughout the body. And plus, a very capable mental wrestler as well. A combination that's hard to beat any place in the country.
Junkyard Dog in now, catches an elbow from Jimmy Jones. Hip toss takedown. And now the Superstar tagged in, goes to work on the Junkyard Dog. Side headlock on Norvell Austin. Tag is made again with Jones. Jones and the Superstar in and out very effectively at this point in the match. Norvell tags Paul Orndorff, and he has both of them in the ring. Both men in the ring. Orndorff takes Jones into that turnbuckle. All four men in the ring.
Orndorff moved right back in to help Norvell. He saw the 2-on-1 situation, was right there to help him. The Superstar nailed and driven outside. Austin sets Jimmy Jones up. Orndorff with that elbow waiting for him, drops Jones. Going for the super, the cradle. This is what we saw in his tape. Man, you've got the pin. Good move. A very unique move. You don't see it a lot, Charlie. Well executed by Paul Orndorff, and it came up with a winning 3 count for his team.
Your winner of the match, Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin. And wait a minute.
Condrey and Rose coming out with a table and a chair, and Charlie moving on to the ring.
It appears that Orndorff just completing a match, and he accepted the challenge of Condrey. Condrey picks a fine time to come out with the table right after a match. It would seem that Orndorff would have the disadvantage at this point.
Certainly Orndorff has been worn down from his competition in the match, Charlie, and right now he's locking grips with Dennis Condrey. Paul down, Condrey down, Rose second in Condrey, and the Junkyard Dog standing behind his partner. And let's see what the Florida State Arm Wrestling Champion and the self-proclaimed Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion can do. Condrey with a bit of an advantage here, Charlie, but Orndorff blasting back, and watch the concentration. Watch the concentration, Orndorff. Orndorff coming down, wait a minute. And Condrey went for a handful of hair, Orndorff beat him to the punch. And look at here, Rose trying with a chair. And he hits that rope and backfires and catches him on top of the head. And I was laid plans of mice and men, and there you have it.
Look what they just did, just backfired on them.
Indeed, it does seem that Rose and Condrey, the Southeastern Arm Wrestling Champion, tried to get a handful of hair, Charlie, and Orndorff beat him to the punch. Rose went after him with a chair. The chair came ricocheting back off that top rope and caught Randy a good one himself.
Man, what a great studcast with around about 25 minutes of video and a little bit of everything thrown into this one, including the kitchen sink. Okay, so what about the results of this studcast card?
Charlie Cook was welcome back, and he beat Ogie Shakina in the first match on this card. Robert Gibson and Ron Bass were both disqualified. Brad Armstrong and Jerry Stubbs in that match. Wow, what a match they had. These two guys wrestled each other. It was really amazing to watch these matches. At the end of this match, both of those guys went over the top rope and out on the concrete, and neither one of them could get back in the ring before they got counted out. So the United States Junior Heavyweight belt still belonged to Brad Armstrong. Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose were disqualified in their defense of the Southeastern tag belts against Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin, Bob Armstrong and Masa Saito. That match turned into a karate fight. The referee couldn't stop it, and he disqualified both of them for using karate, which was illegal in all of the NWA, basically. Mm-hmm. And so they wound up coming back the next week. They went beyond what the NWA allowed, and Don Curtis out of Jacksonville, he let them have a non-sanctioned Southeastern karate legal match. One of the first times, maybe the only, that I can remember in the territory. And then Jimmy Golden got a win over Tony Atlas, and he sent him back to Georgia at the end of the week, because it wasn't going to get any easier for Golden, though, because Mr. Wrestling number 2 was going to be coming to take him on the next week.
All right, so it had to be big. Let's hear about the attendances for these big bookings.
Well, geez, sir, this is crazy, but the buildings were full again. I mean, Birmingham had 5,500 in a building that, wasn't supposed to hold near that many. Mobile was back in Expo Hall again, which, that's going to cost us a lot of fans because they couldn't get into that building. And it was totally sold out. It had 6,000 people. And it maybe had, that I heard, about 2,000 that got turned away. They couldn't get in. Montgomery had 4,800, and Dothan was over 5,000 again with 5,300. We did over $21,000 in 4 nights.
All right, I tell you what, this may be the best Studcast ever done. It was loaded with videos and history. And we have great news, Ron. We do have time for a learning tree question. All right, the gentleman's name is Rocky. He is retired. He lives in Canada. And he says, during territory days, Afro-Americans had trouble finding work, as most owners would employ only one at a time in the territory. You seem to have bucked that trend. Can I ask why?
Oh, that's a great question there, Rocky. It's pretty simple. I never hired based on color. Always it was based on a wrestler's ability to draw money. And in certain parts of the country, if you had a big territory, let's say, as we did later on, Southeastern grew back into all the way to Ohio, if you had a big country, some parts had large Afro-American populations and some had very small. For instance, in eastern Tennessee, in Knoxville, in that area, is a great example of an area that didn't have a lot of Afro-Americans. But I found that fans didn't really care either way, like I did. They were only interested in how good the matches were. So the further south you went, the bigger the Afro-American population was. But it really didn't matter to me. If you look at the card that we have discussed and linked today, you're going to see that there's 3 Afro-Americans on it. I mean, not just 1, but 3.
Yeah.
You got Charlie Cook, you got Norvell Austin, you got Tony Atlas. So I think I probably used more Afro-American wrestlers in my territories than maybe anywhere in the world. And if you could name the best of them, they worked for me. I just said, wow, I think back, I was very, very, very high on bringing in guys that could wrestle, and a lot of Afro-Americans could really wrestle. The bottom line for me basically is it didn't make any difference what color you were as a wrestler. The only thing that matters was your skill in the ring, and that if you had that, you were going to get a shot in my territory.
Listen, it doesn't surprise me at all, especially now that I know you. And as a young person back then, it never even occurred to me, or probably the fans at the Houston County Farm Center where I would go to the matches. We never even thought about it that way. So, but that's something I would expect from you, to load it up with only quality talent, and color didn't matter. All right, so where are we riding next week on the Studcast?
Well, the hits just keep coming, man. The 2 main events were very unusual. You had that karate legal, non-sanctioned Southeastern match between Bob Armstrong and Saito. And that was going to be something totally new for fans. Well, it's totally new for me. I watched it. I freaked. I said, wow, I've never seen anything like this. So, and I don't think Masa Saito was aware that Bob Armstrong was the top Marine in karate when he went through training. So Jimmy Golden's next challenge was going to be Mr. Wrestling number 2, Paul Orndorff and Norvell Austin. We're getting another title shot at the tag champions, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose, and this time it was going to be a no disqualification match. Brad Armstrong and Jerry Stubbs were also in a no disqualification match the next week for Brad's United States Junior Championship. Robert Gibson and Ron Bass were going to be going at it again. I mean, Gibson wasn't satisfied, and I know Bass wasn't. And Ricky Fields is going to be in the opening match, making a rare appearance at this point against Oki Shikina. The TV show had its second championship match of the month, and we're going to be leaving everybody wondering what was coming next. And then I don't think I threw in there even that you had Tony Atlas against Jimmy Golden as well.
Wow.
So, with some kind of big time card, man.
Oh, no doubt. This has been, as I said earlier, I think the best Studcast so far. I want to remind fans of the second When Wrestling Was Wrestling weekend show featuring Paul Orndorff. I, for one, am really looking forward to it. All right, any final comments on today's show, Stud?
Well, I want to thank all the great fans out there for your support as always. Please tell your friends and neighbors about us. Take care of yourselves and others, and may God bless us all.
For Ron Fuller in the Great Smoky Mountains, I'm David Summers saying thank you for listening. Find me on Facebook at facebook.com/dsummers955. On Twitter, X, it's Dave_Doin. On Instagram, it's instagram.com/David Summers Productions. And hit me up anytime at davidsummersproductions@gmail.com. This Studcast is a David Summers production for Tennessee Stud, LLC.
Thanks for joining us today for this historic Studcast. The true story continues next week. So full Nelson your friends and point them in our direction for another ride with the Tennessee Stud.
1, 2, 3.
This is David Summers saying so long from the Great Smoky Mountains.